Alrighty, so this is the lab for the catalase that is in potatoes. And so we're going to use little pieces of potatoes. I just took potatoes and cut little tubes out of them and then chopped them up, or maybe didn't chop them up. So we're going to do 3 different things. So the first one is whether the concentration of how much of the enzyme, so there's enzymes in potatoes. And so we're going to use peroxide, and so on that, and we're just going to squirt it on there. So there's an enzyme called catalase on inside potatoes, and it breaks down hydrogen peroxide, and then it makes, as a byproduct, it makes oxygen. And so we're going to add hydrogen peroxide to our potatoes, so our substrate to our enzyme, and then we'll see a little chemical reaction, and then when the oxygen is produced, it makes bubbles. And so the first one is concentration. So I have a whole little chunk of potato, and then I chopped up. It's the same size, I just one's all together still. And then on here, I don't know if you can see it. Let me make this a little bit. So now you can hopefully see that it says whole and cut up. And so I have a whole one, make sure they're in the right spot. And then I have a cut up one, so hopefully you can see that. And so then I'm just going to squirt. This is just 3% hydrogen peroxide. I got it from the store. And so I will just fill these up. Oh, that beaker has some chunks in it. Something from before. We don't know. So I'm just going to put it up until it's full. We're just going to watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to close my blinds because I think there's a glare. Sorry if that noise was horrible. And so I think me standing behind it actually makes it worse. And so if we're watching that, the whole one is making some bubbles, but the cut up ones are going pretty good. And so we'll let those sit. And so while those are working, I'm just going to twist it around. So we will leave this there, whole and cut up. And then the next one we have is temperature. And so I have, all of them are cut up. This one's room temperature. This one I put in the microwave. This one was in the freezer. And so we will put our, maybe pouring might be faster. See how good I am? And then we'll let these sit. Ooh, overflowed a little bit on that. Okay, so we'll let those sit for a little bit. And then the last one, I'm going to spin my whole thing here, is pH. And so I have some that I have soaked in vinegar, some that I have put in water, and then some that I put in ammonia. And so vinegar is an acid, and water is has pH of, should be about 7, and then ammonia is a base. And so I'm going to pour this liquid off because if not, it might mess it up. And we'll just put peroxide in there as our liquid. So I took our vinegar off, took my water off, I took the ammonia off. Also, it's a little stinky in here because these liquids smell. And then I'll put these. Okay. And then I'm going to spin around and we'll start looking at our results. And so they just need to sit for a few minutes. And so these have been sitting a little bit now. And so on here, on the, this is the whole, and this is the cut up. And so if you can see this, there's like a bit like rising out of it. It's coming out the top of it there a little bit. Maybe this will help. Okay, that's a little bit better. And so the whole one still works. It just doesn't work as well. So this talks about concentration, and I increased the concentration by increasing the surface area of the potatoes is how that one worked. And then the next one that we did was the room temperature one, or the temperature, how temperature affected it. And so on here, we have our room temperature is doing the best. Cold is, not doing too bad. But if you can kind of see it, it's not quite coming over the top like the room temperature one is. And then the hot one has done nothing, which is exactly what I expected. So that's nice that it worked out. And then spinning around here for our pHs. And so we have the three, oops, let me scooch back a little bit. So this one is the acid, nothing is happening. This one is the base, teeny tiny bit, but really not too much. And then this one that we just had it sitting in the water is working pretty good. This one is set the least amount of time, so if we let it sit a little bit longer, it would be more and more. So, but that's it. Hopefully you can see what we're supposed to see.